All right, so I wasn't going to address this, at least not in this manner, but I have to be obedient. So, you saw the two comments that I started this video out with. One comment was left on my video that I made the other day in regards to me sharing my green beans and potatoes and smoked turkey video that I posted to my friend Nessa. That was the CPAP comment. And then the other rude comment, what happened to your face, was the collage video that I made in honor of the progress that I've made over the last 8 weeks, from surgery date until the 8-week mark after surgery. I didn't realize those two comments had really bothered me as much as I did. I did address them in the moment, and I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was enough until last night and early this morning. I had a dream, and that dream left me in tears. I literally woke up at 6:30 this morning with my eyes flooded in tears. And initially, I didn't think that those comments had anything to do with why I had the dream. But the more I sat with that dream, the more I realized that the two is connected. The initial thought behind the dream was social anxiety. And this thumbnail that I just put up here, that is the thumbnail from my very first YouTube video. And if you go back and watch that video and compare that to any of my more recent videos, you'll realize that my social anxiety has come a very long way. It took a heck of a lot for me to make those very first videos, because my social anxiety back then, almost 10 years ago, 10 years ago, was so bad that I couldn't be in social settings for very long. Especially if I didn't go with someone that I knew, or someone that I knew that I was actually attending the event with. I couldn't go alone. There was an event that a classmate was throwing at Miller Park, that I thought I was up to attend, and I got there, sat down for a little bit, and before I knew it, I found myself in a corner, literally in tears, because I knew no one in the venue initially. And then a few people that I knew trickled in, but they were off in their own social circles. But I felt so isolated. And at one point, I kind of heard some conversations gathered around me, and it felt like I was the target of some conversations, because I won't say I was the butt of the conversations, but I had been the butt of so many conversations in the past that that feeling came back over me, that I had to get out of there. I felt the room closing in on me, and before I could get out of there, I had to literally run off to a space that no one was in, and basically I had to catch the tears before anyone else could see them. And once I could stop them long enough to clear the room, I made my exit. Later that week, the same friend invited me out to another social event. It was a run, and they like to take group pictures. And again, I knew no one there, so I made my way to the back row, and as everybody else was, finding the camera, I found my way to the very back row so that I wasn't seen in the picture. And that's pretty much how it was. And um, when I had this dream last night, in this dream, it was actually my first time attending a family event. This was the first family event that and when I say family event, this was the attendees of this family event was my maternal grandmother's descendants. And it was quite a few of us. Many of us hadn't seen each other in several years. And when I say several years, I want to say at least 5 years. And we was at my mom's older sister's house. It was the sister that's between her and the eldest. And for some reason, I had brought or was asked to bring some ice cream. And I had brought the ice cream in a cooler. And it was like 3 either gallons or half gallons. And somewhere in the process of me bringing the cooler in the house, somehow I was escorted into the house through a bedroom. And in the greeting of the cousins and the uncles and aunts, I lost track of the cooler. As I was escorted out the bedroom and into this open space, maybe it was a living room, maybe it was a den or the dining room. I don't quite know. As more guests made their way in, and I don't know how long it had been, but this was also the first time people had seen me since seeing my post. The family had seen me since seeing my post after the surgery. So everybody was telling me how good I looked from the surgery, and it was glad I actually made it. And we're talking and everything, and I don't know how much time had passed, but suddenly my aunt, who had done most of the escorting of me around, at some point she had broke away from me and left me with another relative. I don't remember who it was, but I do know that her kids was gathered around the house in various spots. Suddenly I see her break back into the space that I was in, and she's grabbing the mic, and she's grabbing everyone's attention, and she's bringing up this cooler that I had, and she's saying, whoever had this cooler with 3 gallons, with these 3 containers of ice cream, you left it back here. And before she could even finish her statement, I realized that the mistake that I made, and it began to shatter me, because here I am, first time at her house, and God knows how long, and I've left food in a space that it didn't need to be left in. And now she's not mad, but she's bringing it to everyone's attention. So I'm embarrassed. I start making my way back there to where it was left at. And as I leave that space, everyone in the room starts to laugh. And that's when I become even more embarrassed. So I go grab the cooler. I don't take it in the house. I just take it back to the car. But as I'm making my way back to the car, I can hear her telling everybody to stop laughing. She begins to take up for me. She tells everybody to stop laughing and to realize that that is not the time to be laughing, and to understand that it took a lot for me to come, and that what I did was an honest mistake, and she wasn't doing that to embarrass me. She just wanted the ice cream to make it to where it needed to be so it didn't melt. And she wanted everybody to understand that I just had surgery, and it took a lot for me to be there. And because they all just laughed, she didn't know if I was coming back in the house. And she was right. I wasn't coming back in the house. In this dream, I don't know if my mom was there. I don't know if my sister was there. I don't know if any of my mother's other descendants was there. At this point, I woke up and I was crying. And I just remember how socially awkward I felt, and how many times I have felt unloved in life. And I think that's what those comments really just made me feel. Deep down inside, it's just a reminder of all the times that I have just felt unloved. Just by simply walking in a room. But like I said, this evening, I understand that those two comments is not indicative of how everybody feel about me. The overall consensus of the support that people have given me has been amazing. The love you all have shown me over the last 9 weeks has been unmatched. Because it takes a whole lot for someone to be this vulnerable. And those people don't understand that. Even before this surgery, I just lost 120 pounds, now down to 125. And that in and of itself, sharing it with you all, puts me in a vulnerable place. And then on top of that, to go before the world and show you all how ugly I was during this process. Even though you guys didn't say it that I was ugly, I didn't know myself. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't know who that was. I didn't want to look at myself during that time. I didn't like how I sound during that time. I couldn't hear me. I cried myself to sleep at night because I didn't know who I was when I looked in the mirror. And then to have the internet misdiagnose you with something that you don't have. And then to bring ugly comments like that when they don't know what you went through, and not only physically but mentally. That's hard. And like I told my close friends when I saw that comment, they don't know what that could have done to me 9 weeks ago. They don't know if that would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. They don't know. You don't know where people are when you make comments like that. And I'm so grateful that I do have the support system that I do have. Because several people told me right away, get help. Don't do this alone. Get help. Please get help. I can talk to you all day, but please get help. And even making this video is hard. But I'm doing this out of obedience. Because like my teacher, Miss Wendy, said, somebody else out there needs to see this. This is helping somebody else. And that was my whole point in sharing this journey. Is that people like me go through these kind of surgeries all the time. But there's not enough evidence out there of what people like me are going through. When you look up orthognathic maxillary surgery, you don't see people that look like me. And you don't see the real truth behind the surgery. You see the before and after pictures. You don't see the in-between. I'm sharing my truth because I want those that are considering the surgery to know that it's more to it than just the before and the after. You're gonna swell up like a blowfish. You're gonna be on a soft food diet for a long time. I still can't eat bacon. I still can't eat pizza. I still can't eat chicken wings. It's a lot of your favorite foods that you're not going to be able to eat for a while. And I'm going into week 9. And you're still going to have people out there making unnecessary, ugly comments about your appearance while you're still dealing with your own appearance. On top of the other mental things that you're going through while you're living your life. I live alone. I have to take care of my household on my own. I have no financial backing from anyone else. So I'm dealing with that mental anguish as well. While still struggling to learn how to speak all over again. They don't think about that when they decide to go on the internet and be a cyber bully. That's why I say they don't know what they say could have been the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm not saying any of this to make anyone feel bad for me, because I knew what I was getting into when I decided to go ahead and do this surgery. Did I realize that my financial situation was going to be as bad as it is when I did it? No, because I didn't realize I was going to be sick before I committed to this surgery. But God has blessed me to stay in school this entire time. And I am 6 classes and 2 weeks away from being done with my bachelor's degree. And I truly believe that once I finish my degree, everything is going to turn around. Whether it be with the company I'm currently with or with a new job offer. One thing he's made sure of is that I have a roof over my head. I have transportation to get to and from work. And I have not missed a meal. Even on those dark days, I got a bag of potatoes and some ramen noodles in there. It ain't much, but it's something. I haven't had to go to nobody's food pantry. And I haven't had to stand in a line to wait for somebody to pay my light bill. But a lot of you have left comments over the last 8 weeks that I haven't been able to get to. Because a lot of times when I see y'all comments, it brings me to tears. Pastor Skip, I see you. Miss Wendy Smith, I see you. Jaquel Kelly, I see you. Cousin Patricia, I see you. So many more of y'all, I see y'all. Sabrina, I see you. Again, I'm making this video out of obedience, not out of desperation. And I don't make GoFundMe or Amazon wish list because they do nothing for me. Anytime I've tried, they have failed. I don't have a Cash App because Cash App is deemed as fraud when I was trying to help my mom get a place down here in Charlotte. I'm not begging for help. Like I said, God has truly blessed me. But I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Like I said, I only made this video out of obedience because God was really dealing with me today on not addressing that dream in those comments this morning. So I'm going to get ready to call it a night. I got a few more projects that God has asked me to complete today, and I am going to do that before I go to bed. And I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.